There is a particular quality of light that belongs only to Florence, that amber gold diffusion that settles over terracotta and stone as though the city itself were slowly exhaling centuries of accumulated beauty. It is precisely this quality that finds its way each morning into this apartment on Corso Italia, moving across walls that have held their silence since 1798, warming the original frescoes, as it has done for more than 200 years, tracing the same arcs and angles that it traced when Napoleon's armies were still reordering the map of Europe. To arrive here is to pass through not one threshold, but several, each a deliberate act of separation between the animated life of one of Florence's most storied arteries and the sovereign calm that waits within. The independent entrance establishes from the very first moment a sense of private sovereignty rarely encountered in the historic center, where buildings breathe together in centuries-old proximity. The double-armored door, reinforced, deliberate, uncompromising, does not merely secure a property, it seals a world. Behind the wrought-iron gratings, themselves a quietly architectural statement in their own right, the city recedes entirely. What emerges on the other side is something that resists easy categorization. 120 livable square meters, arranged across 2 bedrooms, and a succession of spaces that carry within them the full architectural conscience of the late 18th century. The proportions alone tell a story. Those generous ceiling heights, the considered relationship between void and volume, the way a room of this era seems to hold its breath and wait for the inhabitant to match its composure. Every dimension here was drawn at a moment when domestic space was understood as a form of civic aspiration, when an apartment was expected to educate the eye as much as shelter the body. But it is the frescoes that command the deepest attention. Original, unrestored in any vulgar sense, carrying within their pigment the very hand and intention of their first creators, they function less as decoration than as continuous presence. These are not reproductions, not renovations, not approximations of period character. They are the period itself, suspended in pigment and plaster, offering a direct and unmediated connection to the craftsmen and patrons who commissioned them when the 19th century had barely begun. To live with these frescoes is to enter into an ongoing conversation with an aesthetic intelligence that predates almost everything the modern world takes for granted. The apartment arrives fully furnished, a turnkey condition that speaks of curatorial thought rather than mere practicality. Every object chosen in consideration of the historical character it inhabits. Nothing jarring, nothing that interrupts the visual dialogue between contemporary comfort and irreplaceable heritage. This is a space where the furniture does not compete with the architecture, but rather acknowledges it, where the inhabited and the inherited coexist with genuine ease. Corso Italia itself provides the broader stage, a thoroughfare that pulses with the particular energy of a Florence that has never confused modernity with the abandonment of its past. Theaters, markets, the river within reach, the Duomo's presence, felt even when unseen, the entire grammar of Florentine urban life unfolding just beyond those iron gates. Yet inside, the silence is complete, the distance from the street absolute, the atmosphere one of considered withdrawal from spectacle in favor of something rarer and more sustaining. This is not a property that announces itself. It does not perform. It simply endures, with that particular authority that comes from having outlasted everything fashionable, everything temporary, everything that was not, from the very beginning, built to last.